want to talk to you about the week I've had, because I've been away in Israel on the past week, very much a work trip, not a holiday, and there's a lot, as we know, has happened while I've been away. The Prime Minister's future's under threat, Peter Mandelson, as I say, sacked as the British ambassador to the US, the murder of Charlie Kirk, and Tommy Robinson's Unite the Kingdom protest in London. And when all this was happening, I was in Israel touring around the country, visiting some of the scenes of the October 7 massacre, the kibbutz, where so many died, or were taken hostage, the Nova Festival site. I went to Hostage Square to meet with the families of hostages taken by Hamas, some safely returned, some who died in captivity, and some who are still there, being starved and tortured in those tunnels in Gaza. It has been a haunting and an emotional experience. But the thing that's most surprised me is how inspirational, how uplifting, and how strong the Israeli people are. Now, Western governments like ours here in Britain think they have much to teach Israel about, right and wrong, and how to conduct a war and how to treat their enemies. But actually, I think it's Israel that has much to teach us. It's a country where everyone flies their flag with pride, where young people, kids just 18 and 19, put on their uniforms and proudly head off to defend their land, where everyone, no matter whether they are religious or secular, Jew or Arab, young or old, black or white, feel united in their belief in their country. And yet they don't all agree with their government or with their Prime Minister or every military strategy. But that's democracy. That's a strength, not a weakness. But this is a people, this is a country that faces an existential threat, not just to their way of life, but to their very lives. Yet facing the threat of death, they understand the true value of life and the true value of freedom. They know that their country, their culture, their people are worth fighting for, and yes, worth dying for. I heard not one word of hate for their enemy. I was in Israel for 9 days. I heard not one word of hate, but I heard non-stop talk of their overwhelming love for their own country. Here in Britain, where young people say their country isn't worth fighting for, it is humbling to see young Israelis so proud to serve. In every street you see the Israeli flag proudly flying. You see yellow ribbons for the hostages and bring them home posters bearing their names and their faces. Every single one of those 48 hostages, alive or dead, still held in Gaza, their names, their faces are known to every single person in Israel. To return to Britain, a country where so many of our politicians, our media, our ruling elite, our academics, everyone in those classes, they're embarrassed by our flag. They're embarrassed by our culture, embarrassed by our history, where they deride the Judeo-Christian traditions that have made us who and what we are today, where many of the good people celebrate the murder of a 31-year-old husband and father in America, assassinated just because they didn't agree with him. Today we learned that 2/3 of Britons under the age of 40 don't even know what the Battle of Britain is. Yet, just like Britain in the 1940s, Israel is fighting an existential threat to their existence. The fascist forces that surround their nation are there now, and they are fighting now. Not only is this a clear battle between good and evil, where there should be not a scintilla of doubt about which side we should be on. Not only is this the front line of the battle for Western civilization in the face of the threat of Islamofascism, but just like Britain during the Second World War, Israel is a beacon of light for the West. The pride, the sense of community, the sense of duty, of self-belief and of strength. We in Britain used to have all of those things, and we are losing those qualities. The truth is that as Western leaders like Keir Starmer, the United Nations and all the other international bodies want to lecture Israel, but actually the truth is we have much to learn from them. And time is fast running out for us to learn those lessons, for us to defend our nation, because what we have here in Britain is still worth fighting for.